overwhelmed. But God's telling you, don't get overwhelmed by what's happening. Don't get overwhelmed by what comes up on you. Don't get full of anxiety. Don't get full of fear. Why? Because he's in there with you. It says, and he was in the hinder part of the ship asleep on a pillow. Sometimes we can't see him. Sometimes we can't tell where he is. Sometimes we can't feel him. But he is right there with us. And he wanted us to see. It doesn't matter. I got this. I don't have to lose no sleep over this. And you shouldn't be losing any sleep over it either. Because if Jesus went down and laid and went to sleep, that should have told them it does not matter what we face. All you got to do is take it in stride because I got this. Somebody said to me, and he was asleep. So that's his humanity. That's talking about, see, that's just symbolic of him being human. He's a man just like us. Well, that's well and good. That's fine. I'll take that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me that he was human because I'm not dealing with the human. I'm dealing with the divine. When I get in trouble, I'm not looking for the human part. I'm looking for the divine part. Yeah, the human part was sleep. And that's what people are going to do. The humans, the people around you, when you need them, where will they be? When you need them, when you call them. And there's many times my phone will ring and it is right here with me and I don't hear it ringing. And somebody needed me, but they could not find me. And that meant that whatever it was you needed me to do, you got to call on Jesus now. You got to call on him. You got to call on him. He was back there asleep. They went and woke him up and said, Master, don't you care that we perish? How can you sleep? How can you sleep when all of this is taking place in our lives? Listen to these victims here. How can you sleep? God, where are you? Don't you care about what I'm going through? He's already told us, yeah, I care. And I'm going to give you some weapons. I'm going to give you some ammunition. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to speak to you and tell you how to fight this thing, how to war this thing, how to become a victor in this thing.
Yes, yes.
And I found, I'm going to tell you a secret. I have found that every challenge that faces me, God has already given me the word on that before it comes. And when it comes, if I sit still and listen to him, that word that he spoke, that it didn't seem like it was related to that, I'm thinking, oh, he's giving me a word to write a book about, or he's giving me a word to preach on. No, he's giving me a word for the trial that's coming in my life. So that when it gets there, all I have to do is speak to that thing and say, but God said, but God said, but God said. And look at here in verse 39. He rose up and said, peace, be still. See, when God says it, when God speaks a thing, it has to come to pass. It does not matter what that thing is. Now, there are some people who believe, okay, I'm just going to let God speak it, and then I'm just going to sit back and la la land. No, God has shown us what he is speaking. We've got to speak that thing whatever is manifest in our life. We've got to speak to it what God spoke to us. We can't speak our own word. We can't say, well, you know what, I just know things are going to be okay. No. What did God say to you? When adversity come against you, what did God say to you? When infirmities attacks your body, what did God say to you? It is God's word that matters. It's not our word. It's God's word that matters. He said, peace, be still. And the wind ceased. And there was a great... God said, I'll give you that peace that passes understanding. I'll give you that peace that even in anxiety, even in the midst of the storm, even when the worst thing is happening, you will be free from anxiety. God said, I will give you that peace such that it does not matter how great it is, you'll be able to lay down and your sleep will be sweet. And I'm engaged right now in a warfare with Wells Fargo. And they've already told me they are determined. They said it to my face. They're determined to take my home. But every night I get in my bed, in my home, and I have sweet. Because I already know what God has told me about Wells Fargo. And everywhere I go, I tell people, memorize that name. Say that name. Because it's going to pass from the earth. If that name does not pass from the earth, I am not a prophet of God. That name's going to pass from the earth. And I can prove it to you. Because there are some names that we know that are gone from the scene. Anybody shopped at Woolworths lately? I don't think so.
Work prophet.
I don't think so. Anybody Montgomery Ward?
Work.
No, I don't think so.
Come back over. Why God?